What's up? I'm your local pleb, and boy do I have a story for you! If you're expected to view this video and think that it's going to be filled with me winning the lottery, meeting my idol, and then even becoming the leader of something I have no idea how to run, why'd you even click on the video? I usually don't make videos like this, but then again, I should make more videos like this because I feel like it tells you more about me as a person and you can get a more in-depth look at my personality. That's at least the excuse I'm using anyways. Be sure to get yourself comfortable, obtain any sort of food, drink, snacks, and or light bulbs to witness what I'm about to tell you, because I'm about to go on full-on rant mode. Some of you might find that enjoyable, however, because let's be honest, who doesn't love watching a person lose their mind? I'm going to be telling you a tale of misery, sorrow, and depression. I'm going to try and be as jokey and lighthearted with this as possible, but I'll still tell you when to take things seriously. Also, not only that, but I'll tell you a bit of advice that kinda helped me throughout this whole ordeal. That way, if anyone is experiencing anything similar or is at least having a hard time in life, then maybe you can send them this video to heed my words a bit. So without further ado, how did this all start? Well, we're going to have to turn the clocks back to July 8th, 2023. This was the domino that set off the whole entire chain reaction that was the worst week of my whole life. So it all starts with me working on things throughout the night. And I swear, when I mean working on things, I don't just mean playing Cookie Run, Oven Break, and Kingdom for my Hyper Heims channel. But as I walk out of my room for some food, water, or anything to survive in the wilderness that is my average house, I mean, what else do I have to say? I basically saw my mom sleeping on the couch, or at least looking heavily exhausted. I remember the exact two-word conversation we had. I said, "Hello." She responded, saying, "Hello." I'm not even joking. That's how it went. I decided to leave her alone because my assumption was that she was just very exhausted from working at night. So with that, I just went to do whatever I did and I went to bed. I mean, that's usually my schedule, all in Eastern Standard Time on my Hyper Heims channel. I upload a video at 7:30 AM, then I upload again at 2:30 PM, then I post something on my community tab or a short or whatever at 4:30 PM. I made sure to set an alarm for 2:30 PM to upload my second video for the day. I go to sleep, and then I upload after waking up. However, after that, going outside of my room, I noticed that my mother was gone. It wasn't until my brother told me that my mom had gone to the hospital because apparently she was encountering stomach issues. I did not expect that to happen, and that wasn't even the only thing worrying me. Since I only live with my brother and my mom, that means that me and my brother were on our own. I'm not saying that we couldn't cook for ourselves, we were definitely more than capable of doing that. It was just more about running out of things to eat. I mean, I care for my mom so much because I basically grew up with her throughout my whole life, and I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to her. So the thought of her being in the hospital, to say the least, it really scared me. She was going to be staying at the hospital for a little bit of time to get better. The only thing that I was just praying for was that she'd be okay. And if you're wondering how she's currently doing, then just watch later because I'll get to it soon. The next day came and I was still worried. However, I was visited by my sister because she wanted to check up on how we were all doing at the moment, which, Lord bless her soul for not only checking up on us, but just living near us in general and being generous enough to check up on us while our mom was in the hospital. Now, on a technicality, not much happened this day. However, I had began to notice that Plebs hadn't came back to the house in a fair amount of time. If you watch my SpongeBob bootleg video, then I shouldn't need to explain who Plebs is. However, just to make it quick, he's my pet cat that I found one day near my house as if they were a stray. Well, as I mentioned, Plebs hadn't came back in a while. He has done this before, but never this long. Even to this day, spoiler alert, he hasn't came back yet. There's even a chance that he may have passed without me even knowing, which I pray isn't the case because I just love that cat too much. Wherever he is, I hope he comes back soon. I really hope he comes back home, honestly. And if he doesn't, well, that either means someone took him and maybe put him in a better place like a shelter or something. Or maybe he's somewhere up there. Yeah, it's surprising how dark this video got, isn't it? On July 10th, my sister gave us the opportunity to get me and my brother to visit my mom in the hospital. I thought this was amazing news, so I took a nap to make sure that I was wide awake to hang out with my mom as much as possible. However, when I woke up, I had the worst feeling in my throat in the world. I have no idea how it happened. I just took a nap, woke up, and there it was. It hurt to swallow, it hurt to burp, it even hurt to laugh at stuff. Even trying to drink water was an issue with how much it hurt. Yet somehow, that wasn't even the worst part. Because of this throat pain, I sounded nasally. I sounded like a male Alphys. And the worst part about that? I had videos to make! That means everyone who watched my content could call me a nerd with how I sounded. As you hear, my voice sucks. You know what I need to do? I need to go see a doctor. As of right now, luckily, the throat pain is gone. Again, I have no clue how it even started. How can resting cause my throat to suffer? Isn't the opposite supposed to happen? Though other than that, nothing too bad happened. I was just more upset that I had to record a bunch of videos while I was like that. I tried to rest, drink plenty of water, and take pain pills for it. However, the voice remained nasally like that for a bit of time, and there really wasn't much that I could do about it. So I just had to suck it up and record the content like that. Did it suck? I mean, kinda, but at the very least, I didn't lose my voice in general. Like, how could I make videos if that was the case? I mean, I guess I could do text on a screen, but I'd rather speak my mind than, you know... So for today, we actually have to start late at night while I'm just laying in bed. I was just scrolling on my phone looking at memes and other things that plebs do these days, and I pulled the blanket off of myself. I then noticed that on my legs there were 3 little dots that I haven't seen before. They didn't look like marks, so I thought that they were bugs like fruit flies. The strange thing is that I haven't ever thought that fruit flies would stay under your blanket just for cover. But then I realized something that legit put me in a panic. These were not fruit flies. Not at all. They were fleas! I have never dealt with fleas before in my life, so my brain was just in instant panic mode. I had to quickly look up videos in the middle of the night to see if there was any easy solution to this issue. A majority of the videos kept telling me to like and subscribe at the beginning, when really I'm trying to fight and survive instead. After a bit of research, I learned that one thing I needed to do was wash whatever I could in the washing machine to clean it up. Now, bear these things in mind. Not only were there a lot of clothes on my bed from clothes to socks, but as a 22-year-old, I did not know how to use a washing machine up until that point. I know I shouldn't be disclosing that because I know that I will be made fun of, but can you really blame me? I had to learn by myself out of an emergency. I then had to spend like 30 minutes learning how to use a washing machine, mainly because I was trying to find tutorials for my specific washing machine, which instead of having those big box ones, it was one of those where it's like half washing machine and half spin dryer. Sooner or later, I was able to make it work and washed loads upon loads upon loads of clothing. Socks, shirts, shorts, pants, my bed sheets, my blankets, and all of that stuff. Oh, and if anyone's wondering, I didn't have a dryer. I had to hang my blanket and bed sheet outside to dry off so I could put it back on later in the day. I did all of this from 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. and I still had to upload at 2:30. So I went to bed sleeping on the couch because there was no way I was sleeping on a flea-infested bed after that, and slept with intense exhaustion. How was I able to get through that day? I would say I have no idea, but the real reason was the drive to protect not only myself, but more importantly my family. I know the only other person around at the time was my brother, but I still had to be sure whenever my sister visits and my mom comes back from the hospital. I also managed to vacuum the entirety of the house and spray as much flea spray around everywhere as much as I could because luckily we had some flea spray for plums, which is most likely where we got the fleas from. Still, the day was just... sheesh, I just couldn't believe that. But you know what? I made it through and I at least learned how to do something important, which is cleaning your clothes properly at the age of 22. Nothing much really happened this day, but 2 things a bit small happened that I thought were cherries on top of the cake. Or, you know, the mud pile. I didn't mention this, but yesterday in the morning, my sister called and we talked about the flea situation. And I jokingly said, with how terrible things are going on currently, I can't wait for the meteor to hit us tomorrow. I mean, at this point, I was fully expecting it to happen. But luckily, we weren't hit by a meteor. We were just hit with an extreme tornado warning instead. And also immediately after, we were hit with a severe thunderstorm warning. Can I catch a break? Luckily, we weren't hit by a tornado, but sheesh, it was windy as all hell, and my sister even told me that someone close by had a tree fall in front of them. Can you all understand why I need to vent about this? Oh, and this next detail is a little bit smaller, but I need to also mention this because it added on to the pain. My sister told me that all of the Pizza Huts around in my area closed down. All of them. Now, it's not like Pizza Hut was the best place out there. Like, the best pizza places that you could ever go to is any local hometown pizzas because it's juicy, it's fresh, and nothing can beat that. However, you know what hometown pizza places usually don't have? A website where you can obtain points the more food that you ordered. Now, whenever I load up the website, it shows me the stupid error with the plebby but adorable heart pizza telling me that I can't go on here. Where am I supposed to order my bare minimum of 3 medium pizzas now? This is the last day I'll be mainly talking about, and it was pretty interesting. There was some good news, but there was also some bad news. The good news was my mom finally returned from the hospital. She had to get transferred to a bigger hospital, and after being there for a bit of time, which I'm pretty sure was actually less time than she was at the smaller hospital, she returned home, which was pretty hopeful. However, it gets more tragic, and also the funny gets sapped from here. I say this because she revealed to me that the doctors had found out that she had stomach cancer. Not only that, but she had also mentioned that it was in its advanced stages, like 3 or 4. After that, she mentioned that she had gotten into chemo radiation therapy, and by the time that I started writing this part of the script, I ended up getting the first session yesterday. The only thing I found oddly funny was that the hospital, which was a different one than the last two she went to, immediately started to give her the treatment when one of the hospitals said that they were going to go through some examination or tests and stuff first before doing anything else, which... why would you even want to do that? I mean, if it's already proven that you have cancer, why not just get the treatment immediately? What are the doctors waiting for? You don't need to do any more dawdling about, just get it done so people who are unfortunate enough to experience this illness can spend more time with others. But yeah, needless to say is that I was pretty distraught. However, I actually took it a bit better than I expected to. You may be asking why I took it so well. Well, in all honesty, I actually talked to some friends who helped me throughout how I was feeling, and some even gave me a different outlook on it. Maybe the advice I had received from others won't be the same to help you as it helped me, but this is just some advice from me. When sad, depressing, and stressful situations get you down, sometimes you need to push yourself forward to get through it. The only way to get through negativity is to keep your brain active instead of being in that same slump. I'm not saying that you need to feel numb whenever bad things happen. Not at all. Without emotions, people don't have a personality and we lose our character. However, I turn those negative emotions into motivation and drive. If I didn't do anything, what would I be doing with my life? You think my mom or Plums or whoever else would appreciate me sitting there in negativity, crying, or being sorrowful? Personally, I don't think so. Instead, they'd want to see me happy and keep myself active in things that I enjoy doing. It could be making content, hanging out with my friends, trying out new things, or even small niche things that I wish I could do more of, such as art and music. Also, let me tell you that talking to someone about a situation that's making you feel down is heavily recommended. It could be friends, family, a professional, or anyone similar. Letting your emotions bottle up isn't healthy, and it's usually recommended that you talk to someone about them. That way, they can give you advice, or they can even relate to a certain situation which won't make you feel as lonely during the ordeal. Also, another thing to keep holding close to yourself is hope. In times of anguish and sorrow, people tend to let go of hope constantly. If that ever happens, then be sure to pick it back up even though it might be hard to keep hold of it. Hope is a type of drive that can not only help yourself but others around you. Sometimes you need to shine some light upon yourself to make yourself happy again and give yourself that drive to pick yourself up again. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm happy with how I've been feeling recently. This has been a very stressful week, and there were even points where I felt genuinely defeated. However, I didn't give up. If I gave up, then what example would I be setting to my friends, family, or even all of you amazing plebs who watch this content? You all help me to push myself to make stuff like this for all of you, because I care about you. I care about everyone around me, and I want to do this as much as I can to make more people around me happy, and at least make their day a little bit brighter. I apologize that this video seemed a bit venti, and I apologize once again for the lack of content, but let's just hope that we can get through this. Together. Even if our path doesn't have a delicious original pan pizza, traditional chicken wings, and a side of brownies, cinnamon rolls, and a cookie pie, like, why did you have to go?!